Hey, folks, this clip is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com and type in promo code VOLS, that's VOLS, at checkout to fill your freezer with enough gourmet food to keep your cookouts going strong into the fall. That is omahasteaks.com, promo code VOLS. Let's wrap up the Florida conversation with talking about the recruits that were there. Somebody just mentioned, Sam Hargrove said David Hobbs, the big defensive lineman, his mom said it was an amazing experience. That was an across the board thing from the recruits at this game, and just from anybody that was there, because I watched just different reactions. Like, you saw like the stand-up comedian Theo Vaughn was there for some reason.
He's an
With
LSU guy, and
Yeah, and he was there with the Barstool guys, but I saw like the Barstool guys. I saw like Dave Portnoy and some of those dudes where they were just like, this environment's insane, like just saying how crazy cool it was, and just other national media that was there. I think it was what's the guy 247 Josh Pate
yeah.
was saying how crazy it was. Like, outside observers were just like, this is unreal.
The
And
fact
then
Arian Foster was back in Knoxville kind of blew my mind. I know he's there with this podcast, that he does some stuff with Barstool as well, so it was a business trip for him. But you still see photos of him on the sideline. It's like, who?
yeah,
With
they were
everything that happened with Arian Foster in the years after he left Tennessee, and just his general tone towards college athletics in general,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
surprised he was there. But maybe that's a
agreed.
sign that he's on board with the way Josh Heupel's doing things, or he probably just doesn't care, to be honest, knowing him. But either way, it was surprising to see him there.
Yeah, and just so many former players in general were there, which I think is a great thing for recruiting too. You can get those guys to kind of talk to recruits, be like, "Hey,
Jabari Davis on the field with a cigar after the game is a pretty good image.
a cigar, yell at F Florida."
Yes.
Great stuff. But the recruits themselves, they were there. Mentioned David Hobbs said he had a great time. I did just want to play this clip of this player is already committed to Tennessee. He's offensive lineman Sham Umarov, who's, I think he's a pretty highly rated 4-star that Heupel has coming in next year. He was at the game and he just tweeted a video of the final play of the game. Haddon gets that interception. And then this was like his reaction to just what was around him. And I thought it was funny. It's just the audio, but just his reaction to everything. Fireworks are going off, and this was what it sounded like.
Oh my God!
I just love that. Oh my God. Dude's freaking out. These 18-year-olds get here. They get shown a great time prior to the game. I mean, Tennessee's facility is world class, and they hook them up with cool stuff, cool experiences, everything that they do. They go to nice restaurants or whatever. Like, it's the whole thing. And then you go to that game and you give them that viewing experience with Neyland Checkered, 102,000 people, unbelievable sight. And I mean, the kid's reaction is just, oh my God. Like, I think that reaction just speaks volumes. Like, how does it not just blow you away and go like, I want to play here? Because you also saw this was Vyson Lang, who's an interior offensive lineman that Tennessee is trying to recruit as 3-star player. He said, when I was standing on the field, I started looking around. I started having goosebumps. I started shaking a little bit. When the players came out, they started bringing more energy, and I was like, "Oh my God, I feel like I want to put pads on and play against Florida." They had me jumping, and I felt like I had 10 Red Bulls. It's second to none, in my personal opinion. Just that stadium experience. There's 3 schools in college football, maybe, that have a comparable experience to this. Like, to be able to make that kind of impact is so massive. And then, of course, you walk away with a win that just takes it that much further. And what can you even say? Hopefully this does. I think it seemed like the tenor of this article about Vyson Lang, it seems like he kind of got that kid in the boat. I don't know. He hasn't committed or anything yet, but just the way that he talked about it, it was just like, you made a deep impact in his mind, I think. And
Well, I mean, that's the stuff that you cannot replicate that. You can't fake it. You can't, you can take these recruits and you can do your photo shoots and you can take them on the river. you can do all this stuff and show them around Knoxville and put on as great of a visit as you possibly can. But there's no program in the country can like that's organic, like that's genuine, like that right there is just the Tennessee fan base. You can't predict it, you can't recreate it, you can't set it up. So for that to happen, it's obviously huge for recruiting. And you wonder, you talked about there's not many places that have that atmosphere, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, you've got these huge crowds at Alabama, Georgia, some of these great programs where winning has become such the expectation that people aren't surprised when they win. The fans aren't surprised when they win. They're happy. They're cheering. I'm not saying that it's, the old Sam Cassell wine and cheese crowd that you sometimes get at college athletics with some of the folks that go to the games, but they're just used to it. Tennessee was begging for a reason to erupt after that Florida game. They're begging for a reason to just let all that emotion out. And you don't get that unless the program's kind of been down a little bit. You can't get that type of reaction from a fan base unless that's present. So you got this passionate fan base, this exciting offense, Checker Nealon, the upgrades to Nealon, your party deck that they're taking the recruits and showing them around, all these updates that Danny White has helped bring to the stadium and to the program in general, all that stuff combined. It's like the perfect storm for that weekend with as many recruits as they had in town. I just can't imagine that game really going any better for Tennessee. And in fact, I know that it was close at the end, and you had that last second pass where everybody's holding their breath, hoping that Tennessee holds on. But I think that moment created such an even bigger explosion because the outcome was still in doubt until the very last play. So when that ball's intercepted and Haddon goes down on the knee to end the game, all that just comes out. It wasn't like, okay, we're up by 17. We know we're going to win this game. It is kind of, there's a great reaction, but it's subdued because it was expected. No, this was just raw emotion. So it was, it just couldn't have went any better for Tennessee.
Yeah, that was as good of a recruit experience as you could possibly give if you're Tennessee. I don't know how it could go better. From tailgate parties to busy weeknights, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all the flavors of fall with their mouthwatering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra juicy burgers, and easy to prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Right now, take advantage of 50% off site wide by shopping their semi annual sale. The sale only happens twice a year and it is on right now. You get 50% off delicious customer favorites. And when you use promo code VOLS, that is VOLS at checkout, you get an additional $30 off your order. And guys, I've had the burgers, I've had the Franks, I've had the chicken from Omaha Steaks. It is all phenomenal. Comes in this great freezer packed way right to your door. Incredibly convenient. I can't say enough about it, honestly. So don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter Vols at checkout and stock up on fall flavor today. Omaha Steaks is perfect for those chilly and busy fall nights with entrees that are ready before the kids can even say what's for dinner. And don't forget to use the promo code Vols at checkout and score your extra $30 off. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It is the best steak of your life, guaranteed. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code Vols at checkout. Minimum order may be required. Omaha Steaks, promo code Vols. You won one of your biggest games of the year in front of an unbelievable, exploding crowd. And I'm sure that like these recruits, there's plenty of people who follow so closely that they would like know who these guys are. To point at them, I actually had a friend tell me they went to a tailgate and Nico was there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, people were taking pictures with Nico."
That dude
and all
is
this stuff.
everywhere.
Seriously.
It is insane. I cannot imagine what's going to be like when he's actually in Knoxville and playing at Tennessee. He is already one of the most recognizable football players in town, and he hasn't even played a down for Tennessee yet. It's incredible, and he's so gracious with his time. You see photos of him with little kids all the time, photos of adults. He will take a photo with anybody. He just seems like a genuinely nice person that is genuinely just loving it. Like he's happy to be embraced by Tennessee. He loves everything Tennessee's doing. He's bought in completely. You can talk about the NIL deal and all that stuff all you want, but look, somebody can give you money and you make your decision based on that, but that doesn't mean you're genuinely happy with your decision. You're doing it for a different motive. I mean, he does not look like a guy that's there just because of the $8 million. Like it doesn't seem that way to me at all. Like it seems like he genuinely loves it.
And Tennessee fans need to know that they're part of what is going to make that so special for him. He is that personable and he's that gracious with his time and stuff like that. But why would he even want to come here if there was nobody making that experience special? He can be that personable, but if nobody's coming up, want to take a picture with him, what does that even mean?
And look, we don't know the details of any NIL deals, the exact details for sure, right? You don't know what other schools came at him with. You don't know what he possibly turned down to go to Tennessee. Maybe it was more, maybe it was in the neighborhood. We don't know that. So I know a lot of detractors of Tennessee will throw that out there, like, oh, he's just there because of the money. And we're like, you know what? Bryce Young is getting paid at Alabama. Okay, CJ Stroud is getting paid at Ohio State. All of these guys are getting paid. That you're not going to be a 5-star quarterback and go somewhere for free. But even Arch Manning is getting a nice little something down in Texas. I mean, that's just the way this world works, and it's worked that way for a long, long time.
What is that video clip of Stephen F. Smith where he goes, "We don't care." That's my reaction to that. We don't care. I don't care why he's here. I'm just glad he's here.
That's the business end of it. That's like worrying about Josh Heupel's contract incentives or even his contract in general. I mean, I know we get into the weeds on a lot of this stuff. Who cares that he just got a $1 million raise? If he tanks and does terrible the rest of the year, has a bad year 3, Tennessee will get rid of him and go to somebody else. It won't matter what's on his contract. Texas A&M's if Jimbo Fisher continues down the path he's on and gives them 8-9 win years instead of playoff appearances, they will fire him. They will come up with the $90 million and they will find somebody else. Like that stuff just doesn't matter. It's not your money. I mean, if you donate whatever, but it's not coming out of your wallet, as far as your day-to-day operating expenses and this and that. Like, don't worry about it. It is what it is. All you should care about is the wins.
Exactly. I don't care. Just glad he's here. That's all I know. It's like with this win. Oh, well, it wasn't. They almost gave it away there at the end. And I don't care. It's a win. You beat Florida. I don't care. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. That's and I did want to finish a couple of people there. They were mentioning Carnell Tate in the comments here. I think to go off the point of just how great that atmosphere was, I think you're going to get Carnell Tate. You got to get him to come back. You got to get him to visit for one of these games, and it needs to be like a good one. And I think if you beat LSU, you'll probably sell out every home game for the rest of the year or close to it. So you'll have good environments for the rest of this season. You got to get them to come back, which I have absolutely no idea what the status of that is, if they're even trying to do that. But just to address that one, because it's a name that people keep bringing up. Oh, it'd be so great to get Carnell Tate. I mean, you're showing everything on the field that you need to show to that kid. He will come here, get immediate playing time, and he will put up giant numbers in Josh Heupel's offense. But man, you have to show him that experience and get him, like Bison Lang said there, you got to get him on the sideline looking up, getting goosebumps. And then I think you could probably have a better chance of doing that. But